Hey, what's up, everybody? Coming back at you 8 years later with the long-awaited review. It's been a long time since I've been on YouTube and didn't really even realize that I have had quite the bit of views on my reviews. And I thought I would come back, still over here smoking cigars. So I thought I'd give you guys a review to enjoy for your pleasure. Today, we'll be reviewing the Cohiba Miniatures. Get a good look at those. These are definitely one of my favorite smokes that I've had in terms of a cigar. I'll open up the package for you so you guys can sort of see inside. Got a little brief description on the inside right here. Pretty cool. They definitely went the 9 yards with the packaging on this one. Got, a little faux gold wrapper with a little tiny cut piece of cedar wood inside. Man, I've always been one who's loved that cedar smell. It's really something that I enjoy. That's why I really just enjoy being inside humider rooms, I guess you would call them, in general. Got that nice cedary wood smell in there, kind of really rich. So here's what you got right here. Got a little baby Cohiba, the Cohiba wrapper on it. Each one is individually wrapped. I don't know how much that helps with freshness. It's sort of a loose pack wrap right here. The initial taste I get off it, definitely got that cedar kind of woody taste. This is sort of the taste you get when you go to think of just like the classic tobacco cigar smell. This is really what stands out to me, is one of those. Not really too rich, not really too robust. More of just I definitely got some woodiness. Man, I really like the smell of these ones, and definitely a huge bargain considering that Cohibas themselves are, they go for like $30 a stick, which is a little bit pricey if you ask me. So we'll give this roll this guy a little bit, make sure that you get a good draw off it. And these also are pre-cut. They're ready to go right out of the package. You don't have to have a cigar cutter with you. Really easy to light. Don't take a whole, minute or so to get lit up. That's what, maybe 5-10 seconds to get it lit. Definitely right out of the gate. Really, really pleasant and smooth flavor. The smell off them is something typical to more specific than, I was going to say that it's almost like when you walk in a cigar lounge, that like really, really classic smell, but that has a lot of mixes in it. It's definitely not as heavy as the smell that you would get when walking into a cigar lounge. At first, too, that's one thing that I gotta mention, is that with these Cohiba miniatures, it sort of varied from one to the next, relatively consistent in their construction. The draw isn't really the most consistent, I would say. Some have a little bit of a thicker draw. Some are a little bit lighter, a little bit wound tighter than the others, or rolled tighter, I could say. And that's one thing too, is that compared to some of the other smaller miniature cigars that I have enjoyed in the past, these tend to have a little bit of a wider ash. I think that, to me, is a good sign. It really depends on the wrapper too. These are Cameroon wrapped and with a unique blend of filler tobaccos. They, as with the other Cohibas, these are made in Santiago, La Republic, or should I say Santiago, La República Dominica. Right, as of right now, I have to say that these are probably in my top 5 for smokes. I'll be completely honest, I've never had a genuine larger size Cohiba out of all the various cigars that I've tried. I've never really convinced myself that it's worth it to drop that much on a cigar stick when there's a lot of other great options out there for, 10, $15. Even honestly, I found great cigars for, $6, $7 out there. Like Arturo Fuente carries a really great line. They have some really solid smokes. And another thing too is that with this cigar, as with a lot of other cigars, it has more of an emphasis than other cigars on the fact that as you get closer to the foot of the cigar, you get definitely a stronger draw on it. I don't feel like there's really any air leakage going on or any reason that it would, be like not getting the greatest draw other than the fact the cherry's burning a little bit closer. And maybe that has a little bit to do with the way that the resin from the burned tobacco sort of fills that empty space inside of the cigar. Definitely a tasty one. Definitely. Like nothing like some of the previous acid line of cigar or the acid cigars that I've done reviews with. Those, sort of just blow any type of cigar out of the water in terms of taste. They got a really, really strong sweet, or it really depends. They have a lot of various different tastes between the different lines. I found with the blue line though, it's usually like a generally like very sweet, very aromatic, lots of oils, and I couldn't say herbs exactly, but definitely has more of like a essential. I don't know if it's essential oils or what it is that they use for the flavoring, but it definitely is one of my favorites. Earlier today, I was actually enjoying. Let's see, it was a what Omar Ortiz, one of the originals from Omar Ortiz. I believe that it was a Robusto style cigar. That one was a very, very decent smoke for the price. It was only, I believe it was $5 or $6, somewhere around there. But for, when you step from comparing something like, unbranded, just run of the mill, cheaper cigars that they offer at the tobacco shop, they have ones that are like unlabeled, just sort of, they're sort of the lowest of the low types of cigars that, stepping of hand rolled cigars. Let me say that. Because, there's always swishers, Black and Milds, things out there that aren't going to be nearly as complex as something that you'll get from a hand rolled cigar. But I was trying one the other day, and honestly, it was the first one that I've tried that's been that low of a price. And I have to say that there is a huge difference. I didn't think that there would be that much of a difference from, something that's like $5-6, a branded one, to getting something that's unbranded and just a couple dollars less. Let me tell you that that's probably the last time that I'm ever going to purchase one of those, because they definitely come across in the flavor. The quality is very low, very dusty. It seemed quite dry, even though it was in a humidified room. I really, really like the smell coming off the end of the cigar as well as the taste. There's been a couple that, there's a couple cigars out there that I have to say, the smell, I'd enjoy the smell of tobacco, but some of them just aren't the most pleasant to smell when you're really getting like a secondhand kind of smell off the end. This one, all around, I could sit inside a room really, really heavily smoked with this cigar, and I'd still enjoy it. As you can sort of see, not the easiest to see on camera, but I know you guys can probably sort of see how, as I'm getting a little bit closer to the foot of the cigar, that I'm getting a little bit more thick draws off of it. Yeah, these are really great for in general, but if you're going to be like somewhere like at a party or something where you want to, maybe offer one to one of your friends, or even just on like a 10-minute break at work, they're really great. They take about, like I don't want to say 15-minute burn time on average, if you don't want to go too crazy and smoke all the way down to the foot. But they're definitely like a nice little short pleasure versus, most normal cigars have a, hour plus burn time. There's one of my favorites, one of my first reviews, the Acid Blondie, that's a closer to 30-40 minute burn time. That one's a nice one for a shorter smoke that's still quite lengthy. Nothing you could really get away with doing on a work break, but definitely a shorty, but a goodie. Sort of lost my O ability, or my ability to blow smokos. Yeah, I can still do a couple. It's not too bad. Then again, too, I'm not really getting the thickest smoke out of this, so I'm sure you guys can sort of have a hard time to see it on camera. I actually have had a couple of coworkers that, when I'm out enjoying one of these on my break, come on over. Most of the people there, they smoke cigarettes and whatnot. And I had a couple people like, man, that actually smells pretty decent considering that I don't really like cigars. So in terms of, an outsider looking in, these things definitely don't have too much of a off-putting smell that some people tend to say some do have when smoking some large cigars. That was almost a good one. I'm gonna cut this review off at 15 minutes. I don't have too many more comments with it. This definitely has a really, really great even burn. You can get up to about an inch on the ash before it tends to want to fall off. I highly recommend this cigar to anyone who's looking for a shorter smoke. I've also recently tried the Romeo and Julieta white box of the miniature cigars. Those ones, they're about the same price, but for 20. And I gotta say, if you're more into like a cigarette type smoke, or like the way that it burns, that might be something that you're more interested in, just because I believe that they do have chopped up tobacco versus where this one is rolled. It's rolled in the traditional way that you would roll a cigar, with the filler leaves and with a wrapper. You can see right here, got a nice white ash on there. Yeah, really just wonderful flavor right here. And I finally realized that it's not probably the best idea to be lighting cigars with candles, even though back in the day that was really what I was stuck with. I didn't really have quite much else to do it. So Hope you guys enjoyed the review. See you next time.